What's up, everyone? It's Coach Damon here. I just want to record a quick little video, quick little podcast, if you're just getting this on the audio, introducing the Lacrosse Goalie Summit 7, June 27th through July 1st. That entire week, I've lined up 20 amazing coaches, all with one goal, and that is to level up your lacrosse goalie game. So whether you're a goalie yourself, goalie mom or dad, or a coach, a lacrosse goalie coach, or just a lacrosse coach, you're going to get a ton of value out of these sessions. I want to explain in this video right now how it's going to work, okay? So it's June 27th through July 1st, and this is the 7th time that we've done this event. 7th time. And if you've attended any of the last 6 goalie summits, you know you're in for a treat. It is the best coaches in the sport, in the game, coming to you for free on Zoom, giving you tips and tricks and hacks and techniques and drills and exercises and things that you can use to level up your game, okay? So we've got 4 coaches per day. June 27th, that's a Monday, through July 1st, that's a Friday. 4 coaches per day, starting noon Eastern, then 2 p.m. Eastern, then 4 p.m. Eastern, then 6 p.m. Eastern. Those are the time slots. Each coach, you can attend the session live for free. So sign up at goaliesummit.com. You'll get your free ticket. You'll get on the email list. You'll get all the emails, all the Zoom links of when those coaches go live. And that is it. Replays will be available for free that same day, but you can also buy the VIP pass, which is an insane value. It's just $97, so under $100, you get access to over 20 hours of lacrosse goalie coaching. That's insane value, insane value. A lot of parents tell me they download those videos, those training sessions to the phone. They watch them in the car on the way to the game or on the way to the tournament or on the way even to practice, to get in the right mindset, to start feeling good, to play a great game of lacrosse as a goalie. Let me talk a little bit about the coaches, because I'm super pumped. I think it's the best lineup we've had for the goalie summits, and we've had some really good ones. Kicking it off is Goalie Smith, the Goalie Smith brothers. I think they're the best coaches in the sport right now. They've coached so many elite high school, elite college goalies. If you watch the Goalie Smith stories, it's just full of the who's who in D1 college lacrosse, both on the men's and the women's side. Best coaches in the game, if you ask me, and that's saying something, because there's a lot of great coaches out there. There's a lot of great coaches out there. They're going to kick it off, and they're going to be talking about bad habits and out-of-date goalie methodologies. So some of these out-of-date methodologies might have been things that, you know, a coach taught you at one point, but the game has evolved, right? Equipment is changing. Athletes are changing. The game has evolved, and how goalies play this position needs to evolve as well. So they're going to talk about out-of-date methodologies, bad habits, and even better, how do I correct that? That kicks it off Goalie Smith. Second session on Monday, June 27th, is going to be Ariel Wiseman. Just graduated from the University of Michigan, All-American season 2022. Ariel is going to be playing in the Pro League in Athletes Unlimited. All of the time, a lot of the time, goalies ask me questions about recruiting. And I went to Cal. I played in the MCLA, so I never really went through the Division I, D2, or D3 recruiting process. But Ariel did. So she's going to give us the basics of college recruiting. She's got a bunch of great stuff planned. She went through the process. She's going to share her story, but then obviously come with questions. She'll be able to answer any questions about college recruiting. That's the second session. Third session of the day, this is going to be Monday, June 27th, 4 p.m., is Brandon Davis. Brandon presented at USA LaxCon twice, I believe. 2-time presenter at USA LaxCon. He's the former head coach of Georgetown College women's program. He's going to be talking about analytics and data, using analytics and data to improve your goalie game. That's one of the areas that I think my coaching could improve upon quite a bit is using data and analytics. So I'm super excited to see what he's going to teach in that session and how we can use data and analytics, shot tracking data, to see what our goalie needs to work on. How can we get better? That's going to be a great session. That's Brandon Davis. Final session of the first day is Tim Cassie from Focus Lacrosse. I've been following Tim on Instagram and been quite impressed with some of the quality of training and coaching videos that he's put out. Summer tournaments are here. And what Tim is going to cover are summer tournament tips, both for the goalies and the parents. Okay? So if you're playing a bunch of summer tournament games this summer, that's a must attend a session for you. Tim Cassie, 6 p.m., Focus Lacrosse, Monday, June 27. That's day one. Day two, we're going to kick it off with Powlax, Patrick Chapla, Powlax, P-O-W Lax. It's essentially a coaching platform, offensive and defensive coaching, okay? His session, what he's going to teach us is going to be called Defensive Basics to See Savable Shots. So as a lacrosse goalie, we want to understand how the defense works. When you understand how the defense works, you can be the leader of that defense, right? The reason quarterbacks are the leaders of the offense is because they understand the playbook better than anyone else. And as a lacrosse goalie, we need to do the same, okay? So you need to understand team defense better than anyone else to be a leader, a field general. And so Patrick from Powlax in that session, Tuesday, June 28th at noon Eastern, he's going to talk about defensive basics to see savable shots. We're going to give up shots, right? But let's try and, for the shots that we do give up as a team, let's try and make them as savable as possible. Number two, the second session of the second day is going to be Chris Buck. I have his book here. Many of you have read this book. It's an amazing book, Thinking Inside the Crease. It's all about goalie psychology. And Chris is a sports psychologist, a goalie psychologist specialist. He's going to be talking about angles, focus, and intensity. 3 keys to success: angles, focus, and intensity. That's going to be an interesting one. You get a little bit of technique with the angles, a little bit of the mental game with the focus and the intensity. That's Chris Buck, Coach Chris Buck, Tuesday, June 28th, 2 p.m. Third session of the second day. This is going to be the first non-lacrosse guy. It's DK mobility guy, Dylan Kelly. He's actually a pro ice hockey player, but he also specializes in mobility and training ice hockey goalies. And guess what? The same mobility that he teaches ice hockey goalies, 100% applicable to lacrosse goalies. So he's going to be going through some mobility exercises that we can incorporate into our daily lives. And guess what? These are going to be great for the parents too. If you're like me and you spend most of the day seated, right? Your hips get tight. You lose that mobility, and that is not good as a lacrosse goalie. DK mobility guy, going to be going through some mobility drills and exercises to prevent injury and to make more saves. That's going to be a great session. Next up, Sean Quirk, Coach Sean Quirk, PLL Cannons head coach, 2-time presenter at the Goalie Summit. He always puts on an amazing session. Great friend of the program, owner of Pete Goalie. Super excited for Coach Quirk's session. He's going to be doing basics for the under 12 goalie. So if you're a youth goalie and you want to learn the basics, even if you're a coach and you want to know how to teach the basics, show up to this session. It's going to be for that under 12 goalie. So we're talking very simple stance, positioning, save movement, but breaking it down at a very low level so that those youth goalies can understand. So if you're just getting started, if you're just a youth, that is a perfect session for you to attend. That's Sean Quirk. That's the last session of the second day. All right, keep it going. Third day, Wednesday, June 29th, kicking it off at noon Eastern, Kimber Howard. I just had Kimber on the podcast. She's Syracuse starting goalie and wrote an awesome article about some of the mental health problems or struggles that she went through and how she overcame it. Amazing stuff. In our podcast, she was saying that Syracuse works with a sports psychologist, and she has a bunch of lessons that she has learned from that sports psychologist that she's going to teach us. So we're calling that one Bulletproof Mindset Training. Bulletproof Mindset Training. Wow, that's going to be amazing. Get that bulletproof mindset that will help you as a lacrosse goalie when you go through those valleys, right? There's going to be peaks, there's going to be valleys. When you go through those valleys, we need that bulletproof mindset to know, all right, we're in a valley and we know we can get out of it. It's Kimber Howard, June 29th at noon. Next up, Reagan Alexander, Ohio State's goalie, starting goalie on the female side, 2 p.m. Eastern. She's going to be talking about communication. Such an important topic for lacrosse goalies is communicating with your defense. And she's great at it. She brings a lot of energy. So she's going to be talking about communicating in the chaos, all about team communication and what to do, when your team doesn't listen to you. All right, that's Reagan Alexander. That's 2 p.m. 4 p.m., third session of that day. Friend of the program, Tommy Bruno, AKA Mr. Wonderful, going to be stringing up an amazing goalie head, and we're going to give it away. All right, while he does that, he answers your questions. So if you have any questions about stringing, mesh, shooters, different heads, why should I string a certain way? Why should I string this way? This is your session to attend. Show up, ask Mr. Wonderful. I think he was averaging like 5 or 6 heads per day, which is pretty insane. So 5 times 365, that's like 2,000 or so heads a year he's stringing up. That's insane. He knows a ton about it. He's been doing it for 20 years. If you have any questions about stringing, he's even dyeing heads. Some beauties, putting out some beauties. That's the third session of the day, Mr. Wonderful. Fourth session, final session of day number 3, Goalies Matter. Coach Brad Gigliotti is going to be giving a session talking about mental health. Goalies Matter is a program, organization, maybe I should say, that he put together, that he founded, all about mental health for lacrosse goalies. Let's be honest, this is a mentally taxing position, and it can take a toll on your mental health. I wrote an article about that a couple of weeks ago, talking about all the different mental health problems that lacrosse goalies have told me, that I have gone through myself as a lacrosse goalie. And in this session, Coach Brad Gigliotti, Goalies Matter, is going to be giving us mental health tips for lacrosse goalies. Mental health, such an important thing. We're going to learn some mental health tips in that session. All right, that's day number 3. Let's keep it going. Day number 4. Day number 4 is Thursday, June 30th. We have another non-lacrosse goalie coach, but a super exciting session. It's Curtis Armstrong. He's a strength and conditioning coach. He works with lacrosse players and lacrosse goalies, but he's going to be going through physical exercises to make a goalie more athletic. So if you're not athletic, this is a regimen that you can go through that's going to make your body more athletic. A lot of times goalies say, how can I get more explosive to the ball? To me, that is all about physical drills, physical exercises. Get your body in shape to make saves. And that's what Curtis Armstrong is going to be doing first session of day number 4. Second session of day number 4, that's June 30th. This is going to be 2 p.m. Coming in clutch. That's Angie Benson and Taylor Moreno's goalie training company. Taylor just won the national championship with North Carolina. Angie was a pro goalie and played at Virginia Tech. Though they're great coaches, amazing coaches. Anybody that's been to a Coming in Clutch training session or clinic can vouch that these are 2 amazing young ladies. They're going to be talking about the clearing game. Taylor's amazing in the clearing game. Maybe one of the stronger elements of her game. And clearing is a lot of goalies have questions about that aspect of their game. What do I do when I make this save? How do I throw it far? How do I get more distance on my clears? That's going to be that session with Angie Benson, Taylor Moreno from Coming in Clutch. That's Thursday, June 30th, 2 p.m. Thursday, June 30th at 4 p.m., Ted Bergman. He's given 3 presentations already in the Goalie Summit, and each one has been amazing. I always invite Ted Bergman. I think he's one of the best coaches to do this type of training. His presentations are amazing. So clear, so thoughtful, so many great videos to explain things. And then really, advanced techniques, not advanced, but techniques that work in the modern game. So I'm super excited for Ted Bergman. He's going to be talking about simple hacks that win you games. Simple hacks, easy things you can do that translate into victories. I cannot wait for that one. Ted Bergman, Thursday, June 30th, 4 p.m. And then closing out day number 4, we got Lax Goalie Rat sponsored athlete Brett Dobbers, just drafted into the PLL pro goalie. He's going to be talking about how do you get better when you live in an area without resources. I hope he mentions attending that session. I hope he mentions signing up for the Goalie Summit, goaliesummit.com. He should. That's going to be a great session. Brett is awesome. Coming out of St. Bonaventure, All-American this year, first goalie drafted into the pros, Canadian. So he grew up in an area without resources. Many Canadians find themselves in an area without resources, or resources, as Canadians might say. But some Americans as well, right? You live in, certain parts of the United States, there's not good goalie coaching. How do you get better? That's that session. Final day is Friday, July 1st. 4 more amazing goalie coaches. Lax Goalie Rat athlete, goalie of the year on the women's side, Maryland goalie Emily Sterling. What a season she had. Unbelievable. I think it was a snub she didn't get nominated for the Tewaaraton. She had such a great year. In fact, when you compare her numbers to Meg Taylor's numbers when she won the Tewaaraton, very, very similar. I think Emily's got her in a few categories. I think Meg wins in a few other categories. Emily is going to be talking about, hang on, what is Emily talking about? She is going to be covering mental game tools for success. That's right. Mental game tools for success. When she did her Q&A as part of the Lax Goalie Rat sponsored athletes, we did these Q&As with the young goalies, and she kept talking about these different mental game tools that she had. Little mental models, little exercises, little ways of thinking about things. And I said, hey, Em, can you present all of those mental game tools in one presentation for the Goalie Summit? And she said yes. She's an awesome, awesome young lady. If you haven't interacted or gotten to see Emily coach, you're in for a treat. That's going to be a great one. Friday, noon Eastern. No, that one's at 11 a.m. Eastern. She has to do it an hour early. So that's the only one that's a little bit different. That one will be at 11 a.m. Eastern. Second session of the day is Thomas Sullivan, D2 goalie for Belmont Abbey. So I mostly cover D1 goalies, and a lot of goalies and people who follow me ask me, hey, can you cover more D2 and D3 and even MCLA stuff? And my answer is, yeah, I would love to. I'd absolutely love to. But the truth is, I struggle to keep up with even D1 men's and women's goalies. I struggle to keep up with that. And so it's often impossible to do D2, D3. But Thomas Sullivan is a D2 goalie. And if you've ever wondered what life is like as a D2 goalie, that is this session. He's going to be giving us a primer on what it means to play Division II lacrosse and why it might be a great option for you. Thomas Sullivan, Belmont Abbey. He was a 2022 D2 All-American. So it's going to be awesome to hear from him. That's the second session of the day. Third session of the day. This is the final non-lacrosse goalie that we have, although she is a goalie. It's Megan Gilbert. She's a goalie in field hockey. And she has started, after she graduated from Providence, she started a life coaching business. And she's going to be giving us lacrosse goalies lessons on balancing school and lacrosse. Wow, that's going to be a great lesson. A lot of you, whether you're in college, high school, or even younger, right? You've got to learn how to balance those two very demanding things in your life. Right? If you don't have a good system to balance those, it can take a toll on your mental health. Absolutely can wear you down. So Megan is going to be giving us tips and tricks on how to balance lacrosse and school. That's going to be an amazing session. if you are in school, or even if you're not, you're going to want to attend that one. Okay. That's Megan Gilbert. That is 4 p.m. Eastern. And then closing it down, final session of the Goalie Summit 7, Simon Bellamy. He gave an amazing presentation in Goalie Summit 4. So this is going to be his second time around. And he's going to be sharing with us a little mental game pyramid model that he's put together. Okay. A lot of goalies want help with the mental game, and I get it. It's one of the tougher things for us lacrosse goalies. Show up to that session. Canadian Simon Bellamy, national champion with Brock University, awesome goalie and awesome guy. So if you attended his session last time, it was so clear, so well done, and I anticipate the same. That is it. 20 coaches, ladies and gentlemen, 20 coaches, unbelievable lineup. It's all free to attend live. So go sign up at goaliesummit.com, goaliesummit.com, and you can get a free ticket. You'll get on the emails. We start June 27th. I got to give a shout out to the sponsors. The Lacrosse Goalie Summit is sponsored by the CL18 Goalie Head, Deep South Lacrosse. Special thanks to Coach Sash for supporting this event. We're going to be giving away a ton of CL18 goalie heads. If you got the video, that's this one right here. With the CL18 goalie head, Coach Sash wanted to create a head that gave goalies the stick handling and feel of an attack player. That's exactly what you get, okay? CL18 goalie head, special thanks to Deep South Lacrosse and Coach Sash for sponsoring the event. New sponsor this time is Deny Goalkeeping. So John Knowles from Rochester, New York. I've spoken with him a bunch on the phone. Big thanks to Deny Goalkeeping and John for sponsoring the event. He gives private lessons specifically for female goalies in the Rochester, New York area. If you are in that area, highly recommend hitting up John for some coaching, and you're looking for that live coaching. There's no substitute for those live shots. So that live training. Goalie Summit is sort of an addition to it, right? You still got to go out to the field and do the work. No question about that. But if you're looking for coaching in the Rochester area, specifically for goalies, hit up John, Deny Goalkeeping. The Instagram is Deny Goalkeeping, at Deny, D-E-N-Y Goalkeeping, and hit him up. Awesome stuff. Penultimately, Lax Shield, formerly known as the Lexi Shield, a protective device, aftermarket device that you're going to wear on the crown of your helmet. That's going to reduce the impact. Their lawyers say we cannot say reduce the probability of concussions, but just reduce the impact. And I think it does, but hey, I'm not a lawyer, so there you go. We're going to be giving away 2 Lexi Shields per event, so that's going to be awesome. That big thanks to Lax Shield, Lexi Shield. They've been sponsoring the Goalie Summit since the very first one, so thank you so much. And finally, Lacrosse All-Stars, Lax All-Stars. Their mission is to grow the game via high-quality videos and footage. They're going to be sponsoring the event again this year. They've got the 5-star app, which is kind of like Instagram, but only for sports highlights. So you can kind of create a profile and not on any of the other stuff on Instagram, so social media, but just for sports highlights. So coaches can go on there, and if they're looking for goalies, they can scroll through and just look at goalie highlights, okay? That's the 5-star app. It's coming out shortly. They are a sponsor of the event. Huge thank you to all the sponsors. I really appreciate it. Support those brands, guys, because they support the lacrosse goalie community. All right, that is it. This is going to be an amazing event. I can't wait to see you there. June 27th, we get started. And like I said, you can get signed up at goaliesummit.com, 100% free to attend live. If you want to get lifetime access to the replays, I highly recommend you get the VIP pass. Every parent who's gotten that will say the same. It's an amazing value. It's under $100. Price is going to double once we start on June 27th. So take advantage of that now. As soon as you sign up, you'll have the opportunity to grab that VIP pass and definitely take advantage of that. Just $97. And there's the Elite VIP pass too. If you want to get access to every Goalie Summit, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, over 110 sessions, over 110 hours of training from just some of the best goalie names in the sport. Let me just get the list of names here, right? You've got PLL pros like Kyle Bernlohr, Matt DeLuca. We got the Goalie Smith brothers, Devin Wills, Ted Bergman has presented a bunch. Breakout goaltending, Mo Spellman, Lars Kiel, Sidewall Jedi, Coach Sash, Crease Coach, Jack Webb, Meg Taylor, Drake Porter, Asia Goldstock, Liz Hogan, Alex Reddy, Jack Runkle. Over 100 sessions of just elite lacrosse goalie coaching. You're not going to find anything like that. You can get that as well. That's called the Elite VIP Pass. It's an insane value. I think it works out to $4 an hour for lacrosse goalie training. And when you think about it, most of these coaches charge $100 an hour. So that's just an insane value. That's the Elite Goalie Pass. Again, get signed up, goaliesummit.com. I'll see you on June 27th. Take care.